Charles Taze Russell, also known as Pastor Russell, was an American religious leader, author, and lecturer. He was the founder of the Christian denomination of the Jehovah's Witnesses, a group that emerged from the Bible student movement in the United States. The Bible student movement was based on the teachings and ministry of Mr. Russell. He is noted for his analytical interpretations of the Holy Bible and for dedicating his life and resources to the preaching of the future establishment of a golden age on earth. According to Mr. Russell's research of the Holy Bible, God's kingdom will rule the earth through Christ. In 1879, Mr. Russell started a Bible journal, now called the Watchtower. He established the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society for the purpose of distributing religious literature. He remained president of the society until he passed away in 1916. Mr. Russell's books and booklets were widely read, with 16 million copies in 35 languages. In addition, his weekly sermons were published by thousands of newspapers. Among his most well-known works is the 7-volume series Studies in the Scriptures. The divine plan of the ages is written to bring light, joy, peace, and communion with God to numerous lost, needy, and bewildered souls. It offers the truth by showcasing its strength and beauty, which progressively serves to enhance faith and closer proximity to the Lord. In realizing the truth, one will realize the senseless, harmful errors that they had previously made and thus gladly discard them. We will now continue with the excerpt from Volume 1 of Charles Taze Russell's Studies in the Scriptures, entitled The Existence of a Supreme Intelligent Creator Established from the Divine Plan of the Ages. Scripture Studies, Volume 1, The Divine Plan of the Ages, The Existence of a Supreme Intelligent Creator Established. It is claimed that the original plants and animals from which present fixed varieties came became extinct before the creation of man. Skeletons and fossils of animals and plants that do not now exist, found deep below the Earth's surface, favor this theory. This view neither ignores nor rejects the Bible teaching that man was a direct and perfect creation, made in the mental and moral image of his Maker, and not a development by a process of evolution probably common to the remainder of creation. This view would in no sense invalidate, but would support the Bible's claim that nature as it is today teaches that an intelligent being ordered it and was its first cause. Let human reason do her best to trace known facts to reasonable and competent causes, giving due credit to nature's laws in every case. But behind all the intricate machinery of nature is the hand of its great author, the intelligent, omnipotent God. We claim, then, that the existence of an intelligent Creator is a clearly demonstrated truth, the proof of which lies all around us, yea, and within us, for we are His workmanship, whose every power of mind and body speaks of a marvelous skill beyond our comprehension. And He is also the designer and creator of what we term nature. We claim that He ordered and established the laws of nature, the beauty and harmony of whose operation we see and admire. This one, whose wisdom planned and whose power upholds and guides the universe, whose wisdom and power so immeasurably transcend our own, we instinctively worship and adore. To realize the existence of this mighty God is but to dread His omnipotent strength, unless we can see Him possessed of benevolence and goodness corresponding to His power. Of this fact, we are also fully assured by the same evidence that proves his existence, power, and wisdom. Not only are we forced to the conclusion that there is a God, and that his power and wisdom are immeasurably beyond our own, but we are forced by reason to the conclusion that the grandest thing created is not superior to its creator. Hence, we must conclude that the greatest manifestation of benevolence and justice among men is inferior in scope to that of the Creator, even as man's wisdom and power are inferior to his. And thus we have before our mental vision the character and attributes of the great Creator. He is wise, just, loving, and powerful, and the scope of his attributes is of necessity immeasurably wider than that of his grandest creation. But further, having reached this reasonable conclusion relative to the existence and character of our Creator, let us inquire, what should we expect of such a being? The answer comes that the possession of such attributes reasonably argues their exercise, their use. God's power must be used, and that in harmony with his own nature, wisely, justly, and benevolently. Whatever may be the means to that end, whatever may be the operation of God's power, the final outcome must be consistent with his nature and character, and every step must be approved of his infinite wisdom. What could be more reasonable than such exercise of power as we see manifested in the creation of countless worlds about us, and in the wonderful variety of earth? What could be more reasonable than the creation of man, endowed with reason and judgment, capable of appreciating his Creator's works and judging of his skill, of his wisdom, justice, power, and love? All this is reasonable, and all in perfect accord with facts known to us. And now comes our final proposition. Is it not reasonable to suppose that such an infinitely wise and good being, having made a creature capable of appreciating him and his plan, would be moved by his love and justice to supply the wants of that creature's nature by giving him some revelation? Would it not be a reasonable supposition that God would supply to man information concerning the object of his existence and his plans for his future? On the contrary, we ask, would it not be unreasonable to suppose that such a Creator would make such a creature as man, endow him with powers of reason reaching out into the future, and yet make no revelation of his plans to meet those longings? Such a course would be unreasonable, being contrary to the character which we reasonably attribute to God, contrary to the proper course of a being controlled by justice and love. We may reason that in creating man, had divine wisdom decided it inexpedient to grant him a knowledge of his future destiny and his share in his Creator's plans, then surely divine justice, as well as divine love, would have insisted that the being should be so limited in his capacity that he would not continually be tormented and perplexed with doubts and fears and ignorance, and as a consequence divine power would have been used under those limitations. The fact, then, that man has capacity for appreciating a revelation of the divine plan, taken in connection with the conceited character of his Creator, is an abundant reason for expecting that God would grant such a revelation in such time and manner as his wisdom approved. God's teachings, when fully appreciated, will accord with his character, which reason assures us is perfect in wisdom, justice, love, and power. Ye curious minds who roam abroad and trace creation's wonders over, confess the footsteps of your God and bow before him and adore. The heavens declare thy glory, Lord. In every star thy wisdom shines. But when our eyes behold thy word, we read thy name in fairer lines. God is truth, and the truth is God. During a radio interview on November 28, 1999, in Cape Town, South Africa, Supreme Master Thanh provided insights on the many aspects of God.
Well, he can see many aspects of God because God is infinite. So, for example, one aspect is the light, and another aspect is the way he speaks to you, has impart wisdom to you. In the voice sounds like thunder, in the voice sounds like the ocean, voice like melody, voice that soothes your soul and calm your nerves and open your wisdom and endear you to him again and make you become a saint, make you become heavenly being again, that where you came from. But you can also see Jesus or Buddha here as representatives, also the past masters, and talk to them and learn from them.
Cherished viewers, we appreciate your company for today's Words of Wisdom entitled The Existence of a Supreme Intelligent Creator Established from the Divine Plan of the Ages by Charles Taze Russell, Part 2 of 2.